Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us for the first 2 seasons of Pack Your Bags with me, Russell Kane. It's been an incredible ride and we've loved having you along. If you haven't caught up yet, do yourself a favour, go back and binge those episodes. We've had some brilliant guests, from Paul C. Brunson to Larry Lamb and Denise Van Outen. In season 2, listeners like you sent in some wild travel dilemmas, and our guests got to play agony aunt and dish out their best advice. Now, they might not be experts, but let's be honest, their takes were pretty spot on. So we've rounded up some of our favourite dilemma moments, including a few that didn't make the original cut. Enjoy! And today, I am buzzing like a bee landing on an effervescent vitamin C tablet to introduce comedian, presenter, drag artist, just about everything he can be seen doing. And if you pay him enough, he'll sing us out. It's Rob Beckett.
Thanks very much.
Now, I'm not suggesting you're a travel expert per se.
I am, actually. I've got a degree in tourism management, actually, a Bachelor of Science, a 2-1 from Canterbury Christchurch University College.
You've got a degree in tourism?
Yes, but I couldn't tell you anything.
Right, so anyway, we've got a dilemma from a listener. Okay, Rob, here is your dilemma. Yeah. Any tips for getting rid of guilt when you leave your kids at home with their grandparents while you go on holiday? Well, number one, have you ever done that?
So I have to leave the kids quite a lot for touring.
No, we're talking you and Lou though. Leaving the kids with the grandparents.
Because there's no guilt when you work because you're like
exactly
right. So we have done it. I would start small and build up. But the way I look at it is that they're very happy, the kids, with the grandparents, and the grandparents are very able and very happy to have them in a lovely home that's got space. So there's no issue with that kind of thing. The guilt, I think...
The blood relative clause as well.
Exactly.
It's a blood relative, the guilt doesn't count.
They're fairly... My dad, they're like in their 60s. Well, my dad's 80 now, and he still looks after the kids, and he's probably too old for it, but it is free childcare. I just sort of hide his car keys.
Just remind me how many kids there are again.
Yeah, I'm just going to take your car keys with me, so why don't you stay in for the day? Don't need to be driving my children anywhere. So I think, look, from my point of view of parenting, in order to be a good parent and a good husband or wife, you need to be in a good emotional place.
Correct.
Okay? And 2 nights away, or even a night away, can have such a massive impact on your mental health of a bit of time. For me, you lose your sense of self when you have kids, don't you? You become dad, you become mum.
And your sense of couple as well, that romantic
not just
connection.
yourself. And then if you've got that time to relax and recharge, and then you remember why you fell in love with your partner in the first place, why you decided to have children, because you can forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think you will come back so recharged, refreshed, and also you'll go, do you know what? I'm so lucky to have this child or these children and enjoy time with them. I think it's very important, actually. Not only should you not feel guilt, you should actively be doing it and praise yourself for doing it. Today,
I'm joined by journalist, author, breakfast TV royalty, hot cover model, Ben Shepherd. I really want to get into exercise and travel and fitness and the interaction of those when we get into our chat in a minute. But before we do that, every episode, a listener drops a travel dilemma and our guest dives in with their hot take. And we don't need expert advice.
That's good.
But given your breadth of journalistic experience, I'm intrigued to see what you're going to say. So here's the dilemma. My friends and I have been talking about taking a holiday for ages. We all know where we want to go, but when it comes to actually choosing dates and booking accommodation, it just doesn't happen. How can we actually get this out of the group chat and book the trip? Help. I want a summer holiday with my pals.
So the way we've started doing this, I think it's a really, really interesting question, because I've turned 50 at Christmas. All of my mates, my schoolmates, you're turning 50 in the summer.
Yeah.
We're all turning 50 around the same time. So trying to do stuff together is really important. Trying to have a trip with us as schoolmates together and actually talking about it and doing very different things. One of the things that we've all worked out that really helps is doing a poll. So you do a poll like on a WhatsApp and you give options for dates.
I thought you meant a dance then. I was like, I'm drawing the line at your fitness regime there.
Do whatever it is that keeps you happy and engaged for us. So like you'll put a poll out and then suddenly get people to, so you put various dates and then you sort of try and take votes on a poll. And I have found, or we found, that has been much more tangible in terms of going, right, we can see that the most of us can do that date particularly. So we're going to go for that date. I'm going to start trying to make that happen now. But because you're right, you can go round, you go round and round in circles, can't you, for hours?
And today, what can I say? I'm joined by relationship science expert, co-host of Married at First Sight UK, author and podcaster, Paul C. Brunson. Paul, welcome.
Woo, yeah.
We've got a trip planned to Mykonos with another couple. They've been taking control of the plan, saying we should do this, we should do that, and I think they mean well. How do we say we'd rather not do some of their suggestions without offending them?
You say, we'd rather not do some of these suggestions, and I don't want to offend you. You know what I mean? I think that the challenge with conflict is that we oftentimes shy away from conflict. Mm-hmm. But conflict is actually good. But the issue is that we're not transparent in how we feel. As long as you're transparent about how you feel, you let them know that, hey, I'm not trying to be offensive. We still want to participate, right? But you're being a little too much right here. That is fair. I think honesty is a great policy when it comes to conflict resolution.
So they should sit down and go, look, we really want to do some of them, but don't be offended, but can we do a couple of things now? And just be straight up with it.
Just to be straight. Exactly how they wrote it.
It's really hard for British people to do that.
This is what I find to be the case.
Sober.
Yeah. This is what was one of my things is when I got here, because I'm from New York, and we're very...
I'm walking here.
Exactly. This is my road. This is it, right? This is it. And I think we're very blunt, but I do appreciate that. And I think that there is something that we can take away from being transparent in our thoughts.
Yeah, I like that. And today, I'm buzzing like a bee on a barocca to be joined by TV presenter, singer, actor, DJ, icon, Denise Van Outen.
Hey, thank you. That's a lovely intro, Russell.
Are you ready to play Travel Agony Aunt?
I am so ready.
Right. I find social media, I'm going to do it in our accent. I find social media quite overwhelming, so I want to digital detox. But my friends are constantly on their phones and our holidays become all about documenting everything for the gram. How can I encourage less phone time without seeming preachy? It's a bloody good one, that.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what?
I relate to that hard.
But so do I, because it is a dilemma. And actually, on my most recent holiday, it was one of the things that I thought, I don't really want to be on my phone all the time because I felt like I needed to do that myself. So I think the thing to do is maybe just allocate a time to do it. Yeah. Because what you find is as well, also, if you are in a group, this is another really good one, and I've done this with friends. Just say to all of your group of friends, if you're going to take pictures, just take the one phone. You can also airdrop each other afterwards the same picture, rather than everyone trying to capture the same moment.
Yeah.
So you almost take it in turns. So if you are with friends, and it depends how long you're going for, each day someone's just in charge of doing the socials, so everyone else can enjoy it. And that way you all get to enjoy the holiday, you all get the pictures, you share them afterwards, but you haven't got, a group of 5 or 10
all on their
phones at the same time, not speaking to each other.
And today I'm joined by GP, author and television presenter, Dr. Ranj Singh. Welcome. Each episode we take a travel dilemma from our audience and to see if our guests can solve it. And we all have a bit of advice, but if you're getting it from a doctor, it's twice as powerful. So are you ready to hear the dilemma? I'm going on a holiday with the girls to Mallorca. They all want me to hire a boat for the day, but I get seasickness quite bad. Have you got any advice on how I can still enjoy myself? Now, this could have come from me. I've got a full family of vommers, yeah? I'm the only one. I can be reading my book, bumping on a speedboat to a snorkeling, no problem. I know it's genetic. I know it's the fluid in the ears. Can't tell that you're not poisoned.
Yeah.
Or evolutionarily, so your body throws up.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of conflicting advice about how to not throw up. So my wife wears the little stickers and swears they do something. But what actually works?
Well, apparently, it happens because there's a confusion of the signals between your eyes and your ears, isn't it? Your eyes are seeing one thing and your ears are doing something else, and you're bouncing up and down. Confuses the body, and the body thinks, I'm going to be sick. I must be getting poisoned, as you said. Apparently, if you look at the horizon, that's the key to it. Looking at the horizon, and that sort of stabilizes some of these confused signals. Or, like you said, you can get meds that really help. Like
which ones are the ones?
Prochlorperazine is the generic name for one. It's technically an antihistamine, and that can help with things like seasickness and stuff like that.
So come on, cut through the BS. Do the little stickers that do anything?
I'm quite a basic kind of person. I'm always about doing the basic stuff well, and if you do that right, then you can do the Porsche stuff that you're talking about. Yeah. So I'm more about the family-friendly Volkswagen kind of thing. So
they don't stick, it's placebo.
Looking at the horizon is my Volkswagen. Those little things, some of them probably, they might do. People wear like metal bracelets and stuff, don't they?
Metal bracelets.
Pressure points. If it works for you, I'm not going to poo-poo it. If you know that, if you go into it thinking, well, it may not work, it might not work, I'll try it and see what happens. And if it works for you, wonderful. If the placebo effect works for you, fine. Just don't be conned by people who are trying to sell you it.
And today, bit of a legend in the room. It's Larry Lamb. So you're here to chat about your travel experiences. You've brought your 3 must-pack travel items along. But before we get into those, we've been getting travel dilemmas from fans of the Pack Your Bags show.
Right.
So I've got a bit of a travel dilemma that someone sent in that I want to see if you can help solve it.
Okay.
Ready? So I've got this one. I'm a triplet and I'm off on a family holiday to Cyprus for my dad's 70th birthday. Both my siblings are bringing their significant others, but I'm single and I'm worried that I'm going to feel like the child of the trip and be made to feel a bit lonely. What can I do to still enjoy the trip and not feel lonely?
Life on your own is good, and get used to it. It's not necessary to be a part of a couple all the time. And I've been a lot of couples. Single is an interesting state.
Are you dating? You still out and about dating?
No.
not retired.
Lots and lots of friends, but
You never go out on a date?
No, really, no. I mean, not what you would call it for it with any sort of romantic touch to it, you know?
Yeah, what a waste of a solid...
look, man.
There's some 75-year-old women now kicking their listening devices over.
Yeah, well, look, the thing is, unfortunately...
You can't waste a 77-year-old specimen like that. It's not fair.
What I've done in 77 years, that's right.
And there could be another 20 to go.
Yeah, I know, but there's certainly
There's
another
more
20
spring
to
lambs.
go. But I'm much more intent on having a larger share of the next 20 years myself.
Mate, your DMs are going to get ruined after this. Dud. That's a clue. Who I'm sat with is a bigger clue now. She's just laughed. I'm joined by dancing icon. Oh, wait a minute. That's me. I'm a dancing icon and I'm joined by TV presenter Oti Mabuse.
Woo!
I'm going on a trip with someone who's always late and it stresses me out. How can I handle this without things getting awkward?
Okay, here's the thing. As the person who is always late.
You're the late person.
I'm always late. Like, by mistakes, intentionally. It just happens that way, you know.
That's how you ended up on the street in Ibiza with me blagging you into the club at the last minute.
2 hours later.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say the best thing to do, one, consider other people's feelings, because some people see it as disrespectful when you're late. That's my sister. But then also...
I was going to say, wow.
Yeah, I know. She's like, it's rude.
They are not your words.
No. And the other thing, I think just plan everything half an hour earlier, or just what we've done now is that we preset our clocks or our watches earlier just to make sure that we're on time. Right. We're slow and we're late, it can be annoying in a group setting.
This is why we get on, because there is a phenomenon that you often see people who become friends, or even in me and Lindsay are like this way, my wife, you're attracted to the opposite group. It's like Lindsay has what I need, because without Lindsay, I would be there 4 hours before having my breakfast, patrolling the shops with no risk. Whereas Lindsay would like to run alongside the plane and jump into the wing as it took off. Just for an extra half an hour in bed.
As it's lifting off.
Yeah, hanging onto the wheel. I had 30 minutes extra sleep.
I don't know why. I really don't know why. And I've tried. I've lasted, I think, 2 days just being on time.
But we also need you, because you chill us out and make us take life less seriously and go, so what? It's a delay, or we were late. We can turn it into an adventure.
I think Mutsi would literally take me away as the little sister. She'd be like, I will switch you out with somebody else who's always on time. And you know what she does when we're on vacation? She'll be like, in 15 minutes, we need to go get dinner.
So what?
In 10 minutes, we need to go get dinner. Yeah. In 5 minutes, we need to go get dinner. Are you ready? In 3 minutes, we need to... She does that.
But what you hear is, I've still got 3 minutes before I need to start getting ready. That's what's gone... I've realised with Lindsay. So if I tell Lindsay, right, it's going to take half an hour to get there, she'll start getting out of the chair 30 minutes before we're due.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just leave us be, to be honest.
What do we get this friend to tell their friend?
You could say, look, because we're doing this as a group, right? I think you need to just consider that we need to get to somewhere at a certain time, just so that we have more time to have fun.
Yeah.
Or just lie to them.
The lying. I was going to say, what about lying?
Lie. Give them the wrong time. Get them there earlier.
That's sorted. Just lie.
And it's sorted. Just lie. Figure it out.
Can't agree with your friend on where to go on holiday? Or maybe you're just an extreme overpacker. Whatever it is, we want to hear your travel dilemmas. Submit these to packyourbags@tui.co.uk for your chance to get expert advice from Russell and his guests on Season 3. Or if you can't wait for Season 3, you can go back and binge all of Season 1 and 2.